waited in line overnight, hoping there would be some or one ticket turned. And Fedorov eyes him in line. Going up, Francis, Washerchuk, and O'Neill. And we are underway here in Game 5. That one is going to be cleared back into the corner. Hasek came back to get it ducked off for Olsen. And around the fire side, and make that Swoboda out there on this line, not Washerchuk. Back in is Lidstrom. His chance, first save made by Irve. First shot on by the Detroit Red Wings.
This is where Carolina has to obviously hold very early in the game. Emotionally, they need the lead. I mean, the lead hasn't been that important in this series, but no team has been down 3-1. Carolina is now.
Remember what Detroit did to Colorado in Game 7. Within 4 minutes, the game was over because they just blew them away offensively. That's what the Canes will fight against happening here. Darren McCarty dumps it in. As Bill said, Detroit knows, and so do the Canes, how important an early lead could be in this game, especially for the Detroit Red Wings. Hit on the near side. Cole went down. He got leveled on the near side boards by Boyd Devereaux.
I think it was Yuri Slager, Gary, and he's officially in the game.
He's in the game.
Shift, yeah. His first shift of the playoffs. His first shift since April the 6th. He hasn't played a hockey game in over 2 months. And I guess he might have forgotten how to tie his skates right. He made a good play here on Eric Cole. He came over to help, played the body. You know, you can never have too many Yuris on your team. Yuri Fisher goes out, Yuri Slager comes in. They're both in the Czech Republic. They both play a physical style. If anything, Yuri Slager moves the puck a little better, and the coaching staff has said to him, play your game. Don't do anything that you normally would not do. And Yuri Slager said this morning, I move the puck and I make
behind the net, cleared around by Dandenault, trying to push it out of the zone, couldn't get it there. Shot, Kapanen, save made. Hasek, and I'll tell you, Sami Kapanen, desperately trying to get his second goal of the playoffs, had a good chance right there.
Would that have been huge, not only for the lead, but for Sami Kapanen and for the offensive starved Carolina Hurricanes. Kapanen on a new line and moved to the different side of the ice, playing right wing with Josip Wasicek at center and Martin Gelinas on the left side. That can't tell you what that would have meant to this franchise right now. Forget about just that goal. The entire big picture would have been changed.
Dominik Hasek in behind the net by Dandenault. Cleared back out through center. It'll be intercepted, and Hill's pass bounced back into the zone. Wasicek came back to help out. Dean will get there, though. Kapanen stepping up near side, bumped away. Maltby shot. Oh, just wide. Turnover. Maltby, McCarty, and Draper on the grind line, creating the chance. Duchesne off the near side. Clearly, you can see what Detroit is doing, Bill. They're going to gun every chance they get to try and get that lead early.
Buzz on the forecheck, and don't ask any second questions. When you have the option of shooting or passing, you fire. Try to get something on Irbe early and reinforce the notion that they are on the brink of elimination.
Arturs Irbe has had an outstanding playoff season, probably the best hockey he's ever played in his career.
And this is the game that he has to play mistake-free hockey. He can't let anything in. The guys in front of him have stopped scoring. That said, Carolina still has to play to their strength, and that is defense first. They can't even dream of opening it up early.
Cannot give power play opportunities up. O'Neill's got it, tried to dump it out through center and had it blocked out there. On the near side, Holmstrom, glove, Irbe, no rebound, and they clear in front of the net. Malik making sure nobody got close to his goaltender.
Boy, Irbe sure cured that high to the glove side problem he had back in Game 2. Luc Robitaille has never even touched the Stanley Cup. That means he doesn't have his name on it. He wants to be able to touch the Stanley Cup. And later tonight, if the Red Wings win, he will.
One of the all-time leading scorers in National Hockey League history, Luc Robitaille. And in the playoffs, 155 of them played, no name in the cup. Dumped off the near side, Hull. It bounces in front. It'll be taken back in behind the net. Dangerous bounce. Moline was there to cover it up. Our referees tonight, Bill McCrory, Stephen Wackel, Brad Lazarowicz, Brian Murphy, are the linesmen working breaking this game. Played around the far side by Dominik Hasek. Fedorov was over, tied up along the boards. Back in behind the net is Lidstrom. Lidstrom turning, plays it around the near side. Shots, Detroit favor early on here. Swoboda had it, lost it. Datsyuk pushed it ahead to center. Pass back to him, deflected. Canes get back onside. Played by Hasek to Lidstrom.
Good communication. Dominik Hasek was going to play it. He just tipped it to Lidstrom. One of the most underrated things in this series has been the puck handling of Dominik Hasek.
He has not made mistakes. He has been there setting picks. The Canes have complained about it, tried to find a way to overcome it, and have not been able to do that. In the corner, Battaglia's pass to the point, went through Hedican, who's got to chase it down. Hedican coming back, Yzerman, the captain, out there with him on the forecheck. Up the near side for Cole, he let it go. Banged by Brind'Amour, but not out. Bounces to center. Yzerman over. Yzerman turned by Battaglia, will dump that one in the zone, but Detroit had not cleared, and that will be an offside call.
Well, we already mentioned Jiri Slegr in his first game since April the 6th. The reason he is in Game 4, number 2 for the Red Wings, Jiri Fischer cross-checked Tommy Westland of the Carolina Hurricanes in the face. Now, no penalty call because there was so much going on, the ref didn't see it. It would have been a complete hypocrisy for the NHL not to call us or not to give a suspension to Jiri Fischer. There's a 5-stitch cut, lost a tooth. It was the absolute right call. Colin Campbell in his office really served justice on that call.
1941 of ice time was the average for Fischer, so that's what's going to be made up for tonight, not necessarily by Slegr, but by the defensive unit of the Detroit Red Wings to cover that time, and what a heartbreak for Fischer to be out of this game. Shot back in by Slegr, blocked by Hill, back to center. Sergei Fedorov came back together. Fedorov 2 goals, 3 assists in a 5-game scoring streak that he brings into this game, the longest streak of any player in this game in the final. Up the near side boards, not a lot of room. Big jam put on. Shanahan came over to help. Yzerman stepped in, poked it away. Fedorov was doing the work along the wall. Some good hard hits. Washington, 21-year-old, got it out of there. Fedorov heading to the bench, let it go. Maltby on the near side will send it in off the wall. Hervé goes back, hangs onto it there. Malik came back to help out. Malik dumped it back into the middle. Through center on the right, little run, and this wind-up shot that got blocked wide. Tommy Westland with the opportunity. Jelena helped set him up, and that one all the way to the other end. They wave off any icing. 35-year-old Arthur Zerbe came back. Won't move out of that net very far, especially tonight. Dangerous pass through the middle. That's a couple of times they've gone straight up the chute for those passes. The Canes have trying to move up out of the zone.
And you know what Barry Smith, Dave Lewis, and Scotty Bowman are saying in the Detroit bench?
On those.
Watch for it.
You get that thing up the middle intercepted. It's a scoring chance for Detroit or any other team that's able to do that on a club trying to come through the middle on them. Pauline on the near side. Canes changing it up. Sent back far side corner. Holmstrom gets over on the touch, and that will be whistled. No score, first period. Our Bud Light Stanley Cup summary. The Detroit Red Wings seeking their 10th Stanley Cup, third most in the league's history. Carolina Hurricanes 8 goals, 6 games. Got to have more.
You don't want to load all of the pressure on one player's shoulders, but the reason we have talked a lot about Sami Kapanen twofold. Number one, he had a career year during the regular season, scoring 27. He's only scored 1 goal in 22 playoff games, and nobody is hurting more than Sami Kapanen. But the other thing is he plays in the top offensive line with O'Neill and Francis, so it all compounds to put pressure on Kapanen's shoulders.
Lidstrom shot deflected up and into the seats, and Van wanted a puck badly. See a lot of lawyers converging over there in a minute, and I'm one of them. So
get him with the lawyers. Drop the sky hook and get him back into his seat.
There is Robitaille. You know his heart's beating as he tries to hold the pace down, but finally a chance to have his name on the cup here in this game, and just trying to keep his mind on playing one shift at a time will be what he's doing. Igor Larionov won the draw, back to the point. Lidstrom, another wrister, goes wide. Holmstrom set up in front of the net that time. Holmstrom out there with Larionov and Robitaille on the line. Robitaille let it go to Lidstrom. Lidstrom turns it back into his own end. 5-1. The shots in favor of Detroit. And the forwards, starting out in this game for the Canes, continue to struggle. 6 forwards had shots in Game 4 for the Canes. None of them had 2. And Carolina's only had 10 shots in a period once in the finals. Open, down low. Survey went behind him at the outside of the net. Rebound came off him. Shot hit the post. Robitaille. 3 great chances. Robitaille hit the post on the second.
before that, Frederick Olofsson, who had jumped up to create a 3-on-2, trickled one between the pads of Irbe. That close to getting a very important lead. Neither of the guys that almost scored has ever gotten their name on a Stanley Cup. First of all, Frederick Olofsson with his shot. Found daylight through Irbe. Watch this. Trickle, roll, come on, baby. Olofsson saying, come on, take siding, roll left. It didn't. Bing. And then Robitaille off the post.
Matter of a bounce of a puck in the series here between these two teams, because one goal has made all the difference in the world. That's the line knocked away into the zone, and they were already offside as Brind'Amour had already moved in. So the best chances early go to Detroit, and Luc Robitaille, who's got 4 goals this playoff year, just missing his 5th.
This is NHL Network.
NetCredit is here to say yes to a personal loan or line of credit, even when other lenders won't. Apply online in minutes and get funds deposited the next business day or sooner. Go to netcredit.com. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
Let's run it. You already know.
I told y'all to run that. Come on now.
Download the PrizePicks app today. Enter $5 and get $50 instantly. PrizePicks. Run your game.
No, hold on. Use this. How's that?
The ones who keep facilities up and running know that even the smallest part can make the biggest impact. That keeping the day on track means paying attention to every detail. And that the right partner can turn every challenge into mission accomplished. Industrial-grade products backed by professional-grade expertise. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Grandpa and I used to work on this together, and when I'm gone, I want you to have it.
Doesn't count. What you need is a will, something you can sign and make official. Start your will at trustandwill.com and make it count.
We went with the website nuts.com because nuts and dried fruit and pretzels and trail mix and gummies and espresso beans and energy squares and fudge and jelly beans and a whole lot more.com was already taken. Get 20% off and free shipping on your first order at nuts.com.
Here it is.
The way he plays is so spectacular to watch.
Did your favorite make the cut? Find out when we reveal our list.
You can't find players like this.
Of the top 20 defensemen right now. Tonight, 6 Eastern on NHL Network.
In a game where the cup could be awarded to Detroit on their home ice if they can win it. No score. Our Dodge intermission report coming up. JD, Barry and John will be along. A talk with Luc Robitaille will be part of it. Our Dodge intermission report. Face off to the right of Irbe. Keep in mind Dominik Hasek coming into this game had not given up a goal in 127 minutes and a few more seconds, and he hasn't given one up here in the first period either. As he continues his shutout work, 6 shutouts that he's pitched this playoff year, setting a new mark. He's now up to over 141 minutes of shutout hockey against the Canes. Ward stepped up to hold it in. Bounced to Chelios in behind the net. Martin Gelinas with a hit. Puck freed up by Draper, though, behind his own net. Draper moved it up. McCarty for Maltby, blocked and held in. And behind the net again. Hasek will come to help. High off the glass. Kapanen. He moved up to knock it down. Draper sends it back. Great job of forechecking here to hold it in, but no chances created on it yet. Now they come out 3-on-3. Left, Maltby whistled offside Draper as he cut in. 5:12 left here in period number 1.
Well, on ESPN, the magazine, the cover featured the 9 future Hall of Famers for the Detroit Red Wings. But they all say, you know what? It's not about the Hall of Fame guys. It is about all of us. So look what they did. They cut out the faces of the guys not mentioned and not pictured on the cover and put their faces on with the rest of the guys.
And changed ever to today.
Yep.
Best team today.
The man in the middle is Ken Holland, the architect, the general manager of the Detroit Red Wings. One of the great GMs and one of the great guys in the sport. If you ever get a chance to see him when he's walking down the street, he will make time for you. A real regular guy.
Back into the corner, Swoboda shot high over the glove side on Hasek, taken by O'Neill. O'Neill with 7 goals, their leading goal scorer. Ron Francis, their captain, right there with the puck. Their leading overall scorer this playoff year. But everybody has been shut down by Detroit here in this final series. Moved back up by Lidstrom. He gets the return pass. Tries to gain the red. Dumped it to Hull. Hull moving it in. Hull's got Devereaux with it. Leaves it. Hull goes back. Devereaux trying to set him up along the top of the circle. Putting then it rolls back out the center. Ollison back to get it. Ollison.
Where you go, man? I'll tell you what, Gary. Carolina's got their trap working fine. Really fine. The other thing is Detroit has turned the puck over about a half a dozen times just inside their blue line. You do that often enough, you're going to get scored on. I don't care who you are.
Absolutely. Well, that's what the Canes said. We want offense, but we're not going to surrender our defense. We can't do that if we've got any chance of winning this game. Shanahan in, shot and a save made. Hervé saw that one coming. But they've got to find a way to get something up on the board. They've had 3 shots in this period. That'll be counted as another. Dominik Hasek will cover it up. But it is scoreless.
Scoreless, but the Red Wings have come close on a couple of plays that were bang, bang, one after the other. From our Southwest Airlines goal camp, Freddie Olison's shot went wide. The rebound was corralled by Larionov. And then Luc Robitaille was able to ding one off the post. So Detroit on those 2 chances came very close.
Luc Robitaille, the 620 career regular season goals. Most by the left wing in history. This is the first team ever to have 3 600 career goal scorers on the same team.
Nice to have one of those guys on your 4th line, which is what that line is really referred to.
Not bad, huh? That'll be dumped into the zone by Hedican. Maybe the only time in National Hockey League history there's ever going to be a 600 goal scorer in the so-called 4th line of a team. Ward picks that thing up and drops it back. Lost it. Fedorov's got it. Sergei Fedorov in. Shot. Hervé denies.
Puck bounced on him just when he was going to shoot. It flipped up on his stick and he never got good wood on it. Looked like he was trying for 5-hole. But the puck is hard for everybody to control. That's why you got to be careful of these passes, even D-to-D. It went Ward to Hedican, he fumbled it, watch the puck. Sergei Fedorov did not get good wood on it and he was trying to go 5-hole. Now defensemen might have to think about even a routine D-to-D pass in their own zone. Now from that angle it looked like he was going low stick.
Fedorov leads Detroit in this series with a goal and 3 assists. His 4 points are most for the Wings against the Canes.
Well, Hervé is sure doing his share early.
I mean, they cannot ask more of Hervé. The Canes can't. I mean, he's been just outstanding this entire playoff year. Shot from the point, another save made as Duchesne wound up and got one through. Glenn Wesley drops it in behind the net. Holmstrom up in the check. Another out right through the middle. Duchesne. That's not accidental. Clearly the Canes thought they found something about moving out of the zone, going through the middle. But
well, that's what the video guys are for. If Joe Koser is down there looking at videotape of the Detroit Red Wings to confer with the coaching staff between periods, say, look, we'll take this away from them. I mean, those are the adjustments you make based on the video feedback.
Chait a little to the middle. Here's Kapanen on an intercept. Sammy Kapanen in shot, save made by Hasek. And everybody's a little tentative in the way they're handling the puck here in the first period. Team USA on the verge of advancing to the second round of the World Cup. They need a win or tie against Poland in the final preliminary match. You can catch the excitement live tomorrow morning, ESPN at 7:15. Or if you miss it there, Saturday, you can see the game at 1 o'clock Eastern on ABC. That will be followed on ABC by Denmark, England in their elimination match.
Boy, some great soccer. Well, even if you're not a soccer fan, turn it on. I'll be up tomorrow morning.
Good. Cover for me.
You're covered.
Cover me. Maltby will move it out. Maltby coming with Draper. Centered around the near side boards. McCarty and Francis tie each other up. Puck sitting. Malik trying to dig it out. Draper got it to McCarty. His backhand chance got blocked. Good block made by Valine, who takes McCarty in a headlock. Still held in. McCarty gets set up in front. Shot. Deflected. Maltby went straight up in the air off the save. And out through center. And Urpe is all over it.
You know what? The grind line continues to be the most dangerous Detroit line.
Dumped out there was Hull. Fans wanted to call on it. Won't get it. Hull comes back and gets the puck and sends it in. Brett Hull leading all Detroit Red Wings in goals scored. He has 10, and there's a hit along the near side wall. Ward, who's upset about a couple of shots he's taken, got a good chance on Boyd Devereaux. Back for Cole near side. Rolls in on Hasek, who played it off. Slager played Cole to make sure he couldn't get in. Datsuk's pass intercepted. Hasek back in behind the net. Double the shots in Detroit's favor. 10-5 so far off the dash of Hull. Hull, Cole read it, couldn't get it. Near side, Devereaux again. Datsuk in the middle. Shot save made off the pad. Puck tied up. Valine tied up Datsuk. Now moved to the near side boards and out of the zone. 3-on-3. Almost a 3-on-2. Brendamore dropped it, but it came outside the line.
I don't think he wanted to pull it out of the line. He wanted to hit Wesley inside the blue line.
Carolina was trying to get a line change going there as well.
What a get by Hasek on that dump in, though. He is so quick.
That one died right at the blue line. Sent back in with Jelena still in the zone, and that will get a whistle.
I thought Boyd Devereaux on this one play whacked his face against the glass. When he lost the puck in his skates, Aaron Ward made him play. Oh, he did. He did hit his nose right in the glass. Must have a tough nose.
That's when you're thankful that glass now has some give.
Yeah, nose give. Here's Kirk Maltby's bid. Oh. Did it touch Urbe? I don't think so. It looked like it went right up and over him, but give Urbe credit for being there and taking away most of the net.
Wow. Jelena had it. Hasek, I don't know if he knew he had that puck with him or not. He dragged it back towards the net. Got 1 minute left to go here in the first period. It is scoreless. The Canes, again, tight defensive play. Larionov knocked it away. Washington will move it back far side. Flip back up the center. Holmstrom over to get it. And that one bounces up and onto the bench. We'll check in downstairs with Darren Pang. Darren.
Gary, thank you very much. I'm keeping an eye on both goaltenders. So far, Billy had mentioned the play of Archer Zerbe. Well, he has settled down in the opening 20. Remember the first chance? Olison's shot snuffed through the arm, and then Luke Robitaille hit the post. Well, from that moment on, his positioning was outstanding, challenging the shooter in that nice deep low crouch, and that last save by Sergei Fedorov is the one that he needed to maintain this 0-0 tie at the end of the first.
I'm just afraid one of those shots is going to actually enter one of his pads and never be seen again. I'm afraid those pads will just kind of implode and the puck will get lost inside.
That would make his pads stronger in that case and add a little reinforcement. Sergei Fedorov, who's had the best scoring chance on a breakaway opportunity. Robitaille, who hit the post, as the Detroit Red Wings in opportunities. It's gone their way, but not on the board. Francis broke it up. Shanahan got it back. Fedorov trying to move around. Fedorov. Hennigan did battle. Backhander. Urbe had to knock that away. Urbe, what a job Fedorov is doing again in this game. He set up Yzerman for that chance. There he is again. Fedorov's pass blocked. Fanned on. Swoboda clears it up, and that's going to do it. Sergei Fedorov, who has been a dominating player throughout this playoff year and here in these finals. A great first period. Urbe coming away with 12 saves. At the other end, Dominik Hasek now has 147 minutes, 13 seconds of shutout hockey.
We talk a lot about Fedorov's skating. It's his power combined with his skating that enables him to get plays like this and pucks over to Steve Yzerman. Yzerman didn't get as much on that shot as he wanted to.
Nothing's changed in this series. Nope. Lots of defense, not many goals. And the Canes are still in it. Canes winning. We go back to Raleigh. Detroit wins it. We see Lord Stanley's hardware on the ice. The National Hockey League on ABC will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
The tour poster's here. They must have ordered 1 inch by 2 inches.
I hate it. I wish I had my angry eyebrows on.
I thought we told her to use Uprinting.
The people at Uprinting.com don't just help you print. They help you print like a pro. So whether you want to impress your fans or grow your business, choose Uprinting. When it has to be right the first time.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for Fubo TV?
Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Drinks filled with sugar and sweeteners have brainwashed you to crave junk. Break sugar spell with Hint Water. New customers get over 45% off our top flavors at drinkhint.com. That's 36 bottles for $36. Just $1 a bottle.
You said you were certain that this was a costume party. Were you for imprint certain?
Well,
Certainty matters. So when you need the right high-quality promotional products, printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time, that's the certainty of 4imprint. So wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team by checking out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Are your headlights cloudy and oxidized, making your car look bad? Are they underperforming when you need them most? Cerakote's Headlight Restoration Kit restores weathered headlights back to like new and keeps them that way for life. Stop wasting your time with solutions that don't last. Cerakote's kit includes everything you need to go from this to this. Simply wipe away oxidation, give them a light sanding, and apply the ceramic coating. That's it. The True Ceramic technology does the rest. Buy any of Cerakote's #1 selling ceramic products for under $20 at these leading retailers today.
NHLShop.com, the official online store of the National Hockey League, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear, with unique one-of-a-kind designs by Fanatics, Adidas, and all the latest styles for every NHL team. Don't miss out. Shop now and get today's special offer. NHLShop.com, a Fanatics experience.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for hockey. And NHL Network is serving up your favorite shows all summer.
Can I get a brochure, please?
My favorite player.
Can I get a Puxicle, please?
Enjoy.
Wow, back and forth they go. It's been a great series.
Beat the heat with a little hockey all summer on NHL Network.
There has never been anything like the Stanley Cup Finals, and there never will be.
By design or by fortune, there is no score. The cup is in the house, waiting. Second period, ready to go. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement back with you here at the Joe. No score, shots 12-5 in the first period in favor of the Detroit Red Wings. And we are underway here in the second, as the Wings try and bring Lord Stanley's Cup to the ice tonight. And the Canes continue that tight defensive game.
Both coaches rolled 4 lines, not one change. They only use 4-line combos each.
Laid off the near side boards by Urbe right off the top of it. Maltby came up to try and hold it in. McCarty a hit. Olesen stepping in, got it deeper. Again, Hedekin trying to clear. Got it up by Svoboda. Nice drop pass there to Ron Francis. Francis leaves it, shot. Ward over the head of Dominik Hasek. He knew that one was high. O'Neill along the near side trying to knock it down. Did, but Detroit got it back. Move back out, far side. Maltby. Maltby takes the hit. Cleared in. Both teams changing here as we're underway in this second period. And the Detroit crowd ripping and roaring at the start of it. Trying to settle down a little bit here. Shot, deflection, and a save as Cole was coming right across the top of the crease. Datsyuk left it. Another big hit put on by Hill. John Hill, he's been their leading hitman here in this series and playoff year. Along with Cole, cleared that one up through center. Loose at the red line. Red Wings get it back. Datsyuk, the rookie, sends it in. Urbe came back to play it. Urbe waiting for a little help. Got it around the boards. Not out of the zone. Good play by Devereaux. Stepped up. Far side wide open to Shane. Duchesne is shot. Hill got a piece of that as he went back in behind the net. Hull leaves it. Devereaux. They got Datsyuk in front. Near side for Chelios off the boards. His shot deflected wide. Straight up in the air and a tip to the corner. That close, and again the Red Wings with the opportunity.
Might have even grazed the post. That all started with Bates Battaglia falling down at one point, and then everything broke down for Carolina.
Brandamore in the corner, taken out of the play, centered it off. Hasek's stick, Kapanen a chance. and that one comes to the near side as he shot it wide on the short side. Over to get it and cleared over off for Yzerman. Yzerman breaking. Could be an icing. Yzerman trying to avoid it. Got back and did. Bouncing puck. Cleared back up through center ice. Good start here in the second. Washishek shot. Save made. Dominik Hasek deflected that one to the corner off the blocker. Cleared back up, Fedorov to Yzerman. Yzerman leaves it in the middle or tried. Washishek got it back, sends it in onside. Dominik Hasek again came back to play it. Hasek up. Washishek stepped in front, could not hold it in the zone. Dandino got it out of there. Shanahan over. Fedorov. Fedorov left it in the middle for Brendan Shanahan, who got tied up. Shanahan finding the goal-scoring power he has. Looks to the near side. Everybody tied up down low. Dandino's chance deflected right over Yzerman's stick. Matthew Dandino with it, and another defensive breakdown there that the Canes got away with. Less than a chance. That one's going to be missed. Tommy Westland with the opportunity, held in by Jeff Daniels. Down the near side boards, not out yet. Shot Daniels wide. Rebound to Adams. Adams will try and wrist it in. Fedorov blocked it into the corner. Two number 11s go at it behind the net. Daniels and Dandino. Westland's chance. That just shot up in the air with 4 players there. And Hill will get it back at his own blue. Up for Adams. Adams turning it back at his own end. Trying to go under Robitaille's stick with the puck did. And sent it in. Behind the net, Dominik Hasek. Cleared it around. Robitaille's pass into the middle. Comes near side to Holmstrom. Larionov cutting. Holmstrom brings it in onside. Holmstrom tried to dump through center ice. Couldn't get anybody. It'll be held in by Yuri Slager. Slager played 6.5 minutes in that first period.
He did fine. Dave Lewis, the man that is in charge on the bench of the defenseman, said he would watch his comfort level. He looked comfortable.
Shot save made. From the top, Larionov had that one. Larionov cutting with Robitaille to Holmstrom. Holmstrom. Chelios in the corner, Larionov. Larionov centered. Holmstrom shot. Deflected. Score! Larionov save up. Holmstrom drove it home.
A one-handed poke by Holmstrom. Hard work is how this goal happened. This is supposed to be the Detroit Red Wings' 4th line. Yeah, right. Chris Chelios with the guts to stand in on the blue line to keep it alive into Larionov. A one-handed poke on a lunge by Holmstrom. Kevin Adams tried to tie Holmstrom up. Couldn't get to all of them. All it was a one-handed redirect. And the Red Wings have a 1-0 lead. Brendan Shanahan liked it. Now the test for Carolina will be, can they hold here? Because the crowd is alive. The Red Wings have picked up the scent. We'll see what happens.
A 1-0 lead as Tomas Holmstrom gives it to them early here in the second period. Back in behind the net, McCarty had it tipped away. So Butler dropped it back off. Hedican came back to play it. The last 10 goals that have been scored in this series have been even strength goals. We have only 1 penalty and 1 power play in this game.
And this is supposed to suit Paul Maurice. Remember, the Carolina Hurricanes see themselves as a 5-on-5 team. They even got that in Game 4, and they've had that pretty much in this game. But there are no easy ways against the Detroit Red Wings.
They are the ones, Detroit, scoring the even strength goals. Francis got it for Cole in the middle and just missed. They were in the middle of a line change here. Near side McCarty. McCarty dropped it. Little room. Datsuk save Herbe. Rebound deflected to the other side of the net where Brendamore picks it up. 4:07 of the period. Holmstrom, first of this series, is 8th of the playoffs. Larionov and Chelios pick up the assists. And the shot 16-7 in favor of Detroit. Cleared back deeper into the zone by Battaglia. Since Jeff O'Neill scored a goal, 7:34 of the third period in Game 3. The rest of it has been Detroit. Battaglia missed that one wide. Detroit, since that moment in Game 3, has outscored the Canes 6-0, and they have outshot them by 25 shots in that time span. And the Canes in this game haven't got an answer to it yet.
No. 3 goals is all Carolina has scored in the last 13 periods, if you count the 3 periods of the triple overtime game.
Penalty coming up, delayed call. It's a holding call coming, and they're pointing.
Yuri Slager, I think.
Slager's going to go. Well, door opens for Carolina.
It'll close.
21 Detroit 2 rolling.
Oh, it's Boyd Devereaux. It's not Yuri Slager. Although I thought I heard 21. Okay. Could have sworn I heard 21. Holmstrom with the only goal in the game. Igor Larionov with the setup. I'm not sure if Verbe was reading the play coming right through to Robitaille. Southwest Airlines goal cam, I know where it went, right between his pads. I think Holmstrom surprised him. Time for celebration even when you're lying on your back.
He knew it had gone to the back of the net. So Holmstrom, a very strong 8-goal playoff season. Yuri Slager holding power play Carolina.
Eric Cole got locked up with Slager. Cole was kind of mugging Yuri Slager. And then Slager decided to pay him back. He just pinned him against the boards for about 12 seconds too long there. Other than that, it was a pretty good play.
6-minute mark, Slager out of there. Last 2 rounds, the Hurricanes just 9.8% on the power play. They have not scored in their last 19 chances. 0 for 19.
But one of the big reasons Detroit has been so successful in the penalty kill is that when you're out there on the power play against them, you fear the penalty killer and you back off.
Detroit can score short-handed. Francis in the middle. Left it. Hill back to it. Francis O'Neill's on the offside post. Lidstrom stole the puck. Can't get it out. Held in by Hill again. See Detroit coming right at the puck here. They know Carolina's nervous on the power play, so they're not going to give them any room.
With the puck bouncing too, they're going to, if in doubt, they're going to press.
Detroit's given up only 1 power play in the last 38 times they've been short-handed. And that one is cleared out the length of the ice.
You got to take
amazing number right there.
Got to get the puck down the ice to change in the second period because it's the long change. You don't get it all the way down and you go for a change, you're going to get caught on the counter.
And you see that ice giving ground there as Hill tried to cut, and the ice gave way on him. Back in behind the net, that one bounced over Hasek's stick, came back into the middle, couldn't be handled by Francis, and it's clear. Power play down to 58 seconds, Carolina. They've had just 7 shots in the game, and they're being pressed here again when they have the advantage. Glenn Wesley sends it in around the net. Hasek decided, I'm not going back there anymore after that last bounce went over his stick. Cleared back, loose Battaglia, end up against the wall. Brendamore dug it out. Francis goes back to the point. Near side is Glenn Wesley. Wesley waiting. No shots coming here. Hill leaves it down low in front. Deflected on Hasek, loose to the corner. Brendamore thought he had one there, near side for Wesley. 20 on the power play. Set back. Brendamore, Francis up front. Wesley, far side again. A lot of perimeter passing here, but
well, they got
one down low.
With 3 left-handers out there up front for Carolina, they've got to set up to Hasek's left, where Brendamore is not their good side.
Again, Wesley not shooting. Hill will. The chance deflected wide. Centered Battaglia up. Francis not quite. Lidstrom tied him up. Penalty is over. No shots on the power play.
Boy, they look dangerous, though.
Brendamore centered shot. What a save by Dominic Hasek. He robbed him. Dominic Hasek. Battaglia was coming back through the middle. Back the other way. Slager out of the box. Save made by Irbe. Oh, mercy. Brendamore, Battaglia both down low in that chance. And Dominic Hasek just denied it. At the other end, Holmstrom cutting to the net, looking for another one. Puck deflected back to Robitaille. Robitaille shot, and he missed it wide. On the stick side. Luke Robitaille another chance. Martin Jelena will move it out as the pace picks up. 1-0. Red Wings on top. Each team 0 for 1 in the power play in the game. Holmstrom trying to pin it on the wall over there. Got kicked away to Kapanen. Kapanen, Holmstrom collide. Still loose underneath the Hasek chant here in Detroit. Kapanen, Holmstrom's got it underneath him. The officials want the puck moved, and it is. Back it comes to Holmstrom just after he stood up. Kapanen gets the puck. Kapanen dropped it off. Holmstrom stole it and sends it onto the bench. The Red Wings 1, the Canes 0.
NetCredit is here to say yes to a personal loan or line of credit, even when other lenders won't. Apply online in minutes and get funds deposited the next business day or sooner. Go to netcredit.com. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
What are you doing?
Yo, Sean, put him on game.
He's locked in on Prize Picks. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players and lock in for the game.
Plus, you can play in almost every state.
Download the Prize Picks app today. Enter $5 and get $50 instantly with Code TV.
Your balls will smell like winners with Mando. Can we say balls? Mando's different. It's tough enough to control body odor in all your toughest smelling places. How does Mando work? Rather than covering up odor with heavy fragrances, Mando stops odor before it starts. Our formula is powered by an acidified technology and pH optimized. It works by blocking bacteria from digesting fluids on your skin like sweat anywhere on your body. Order Mando whole body deodorant today and control your body odor better everywhere.
For the best deals, go to shopmando.com.
There's an easier way. From painting and cleaning to repairs and more. Taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
Are your headlights cloudy and oxidized, making your car look bad? Are they underperforming when you need them most? Cerakote's Headlight Restoration Kit restores weathered headlights back to like new and keeps them that way for life. Stop wasting your time with solutions that don't last. Cerakote's kit includes everything you need to go from this to this. Simply wipe away oxidation, give them a light sanding, and apply the ceramic coating. That's it. The True Ceramic technology does the rest.
Buy any of Cerakote's #1 selling ceramic products for under $20 at these leading retailers today.
No, hold on. Use this. How's that?
Imagine if the most exciting, unthinkable, iconic NHL moments could be yours. Well, now they can, because NHL Breakaway lets you collect highlights from your favorite players and teams. Collect a moment, relive a memory, and trade history with these officially licensed digital collectibles. Make history yours with NHL Breakaway.
A great scoring chance for the Carolina Hurricanes. Bates Battaglia, bang, thought he had him. You can't assume you beat Dominik Hasek low. Hasek finished it off with his patented snow angel. But you can't assume, and Bates Battaglia has learned that twice now in this series, that you're going to beat Dominik Hasek low. You have to assume he's going to get the puck anywhere low and try to get it up off the ice.
Battaglia denied again. He's one they need to get going. No goals in the last 10 games for Bates Battaglia. That BBC line being shut down here in this series. Francis over to get it. Francis to O'Neill. O'Neill behind the net. Frederick Olasanani pushed up Shanahan there, and Shanahan able to clear it out. It has to be played. Back to get it is Fred Hedican. Hedican behind his own net. Carolina pinned in here on the 1-2-2 with Yzerman up on the forecheck. Crisscross intended for Swoboda sent in. Hasek will come back to play this near side. O'Neill ran it in. O'Neill passed back to him. Datsuk blocked that one.
That's one of the few times Carolina's been able to get the puck back once Dominik Hasek has played it. The problem when you're trying to get the puck back is Dominik Hasek reads the offensive play so well. He knows which side of the ice you're taking away, which boards you're taking away, and he'll go the other way. That time he went to O'Neill, but it didn't cost him.
Red Wings have the 1-0 lead. The Stanley Cup Finals on ABC, brought to you by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Cold, down, easy. And Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. Gary Thornville, Clement, and our crew here with the Stanley Cup literally on the way to the building. Will it be raised and skated here tonight? Back in behind the net, Chelios back to get it. Here's Chelios. Moves it into the middle of the red and sends it in. Took the bump from Cole as he did so. Near side to Wesley. Wesley's got a reverse in his own end. Leaves it back for Hill. Fire side. Slager stepped up, couldn't get it. Brind'Amour blocked by Datsuk. Datsuk again. He and Brind'Amour collide. Brind'Amour came away with it. Brind'Amour left it in the middle. Battaglia. Datsuk. And finally flipped up off the glass and out of there by Devereaux. Hull moving in, could not reach it. Bounce, follow the bouncing puck. Sent into the corner. It is really bouncing here at the Joe tonight. You see how the players are having trouble getting a handle on it.
That's why I just keep waiting for somebody to break one out of the neutral zone. Both teams are trying nice little plays in the neutral zone. You get one bad bounce. That's how Sergei Fedorov got his breakaway in the first period.
Vandeno comes back in his own end. Leaves it. Carolina gets a line change completed. Sent in, far side off. Stick him. Darren McCarty couldn't control. Near side, Kapanen. Vandeno stepped up to try and hold it in. Finally controlled by Malik. Malik, not a lot of room. Got it to Martin Chelina. Turned back and into the zone. Pauline spun off the wall. Pauline had to put a hit on over there on Darren McCarty as it came free. McCarty turned to the official to see if he was going to call and did not.
Official said, "Are you breathing?"
You get up. 2 penalties so far in the game. Each team has had a power play. Neither able to convert. The goal we have on the board is an even strength goal. Tomas Holmstrom got it. Swung around. No chance in the shot. Adams had it taken away by Holmstrom out of there. Westland came back to get it. Intercepted. Frederick Olesen. And Olesen will send it in. What a season and a surprise season for Olesen in the most positive way. Nobody thought he would be as good as he's been, except maybe Frederick Olesen.
You know, if the Vancouver series had gone differently early when Uwe Krupp was playing, Olesen might still not even be in.
Yep. Instead, he has become one of their very solid defensive defensemen and even a couple of very big goals. Adams pulled that one out of the zone, creating the offside. The Red Wings leading second period in Detroit.
Drinks filled with sugar and sweeteners have brainwashed you to crave junk. Break Sugar Spell with Hint Water. New customers get over 45% off our top flavors at drinkhint.com. That's 36 bottles for $36. Just $1 a bottle.
What would you pay for an iPad Pro? I only paid $42 on Deal Dash.
DealDash.com. Online auction since 2009. This PlayStation 5 sold for only 50 cents. And this smart charcoal grill sold for $16. And this Nintendo Switch sold for less than $20. Deals like these and many more happen in the thousands of daily auctions on DealDash.com. All auctions start at $0. And remember, everything must go.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56. I got this barbecue smoker for $26.
And you get a 90-day money-back guarantee with your first purchase.
This brand new iPhone sold for less than $42. And this DJI drone sold for less than $21.
And I got it for $16 on Deal Dash.
And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
There are auctions going on right now. So what are you waiting for?
Are you certain he'll fetch?
Sure.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters. Need promo gear? 4imprint certainly got it. Apparel, drinkware, bags, and more. Go get it at 4imprint.com.
4imprint for certain.
This is a story about the one who keeps it all moving. He is measured, precise. He thinks ahead, stocks the right parts, and knows just where to find them. Because for the one, this facility is about more than business. The industrial grade products you need delivered fast. Call, click Grainger.com or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're their favorite aunt.
So we decided if anything happened to us,
We want you to take the kids. Oh, you guys.
Doesn't count. This is giving me the fuzzies. But what you need is a will. Trust and Will makes it easy. For as low as $199, you can quickly create a state-specific, legally valid document that actually counts. What's cooking?
Twins.
Twins. Start your will at trustandwill.com and make it count.
Nothing sweeter than the taste of victory.
It's been a great series.
Relive each Stanley Cup playoff series on Series in a Day, Mondays and Thursdays on NHL Network.
Red Wings in a game where they could win the cup, have the 1-0 lead. Our Nivea League leaderboard about Dominik Hasek. There's some select company. Up there among the leaders, Clint Benedict back in 1917-18. Dave Kerr, 30-31 and 40-41 when he played. Benedict was with the old Ottawa Senators and the Montreal Maroons, and Kerr played with the Maroons and the New York Americans and New York Rangers.
That was back when you were allowed to raise the puck.
That's right. Keep it on the ice.
Of course, there was no trap either.
No. Fedorov left it. Shanahan a chance. Irbe makes the save and hangs on.
We'll take a moment here to take a look at our Coors Light replay and our storyline. One goal in the game. It came in this period. Tomas Holmstrom. Also at the other end, Dominik Hasek was strutting his stuff. At least his biggest save of this game.
Boy, is he ever. He has now shut out the Canes for 160 consecutive minutes. That's 8 periods worth of hockey. It is the 5th longest finals shutout streak, and it's still underway. Played back by Brind'Amour. Red Wings with that 1-0 lead here, and the Canes just 8 shots in the game. They've been outshot 18-8. Slager got bumped off the puck, fell down behind the net. Cleared back by Chelios into the zone, and this will be an icing call. Henneken back. All right, Coors Light storyline is this game, like the rest of this series, is about D. Holmstrom. It's the 8th goal of the playoffs for him. In the regular season, he had 8 goals in 69 games. And Dominik Hasek, there's the shutout streak underway here.
Yuri Slager hasn't really looked that rusty as far as his timing and his ability to get in front of people. But you see him wheeling the puck around here. Twice that has resulted in turnovers. He got hit after the play. That was Eric Cole just finishing him off. But when nobody was really pressuring him, a couple of times Yuri Slager has thrown it around the wall on the hard rim, and it hasn't worked. And Wingers, I don't think, are ready for it, because none of the other defensemen do that with any regularity. They'll take a step, get the net, and then look for the direct pass.
Face off one by Draper, but Svoboda intercepted and held it in. Gets tied up, and a penalty coming in the corner. It's going to be on Detroit. Oh, wait a minute. It isn't. It's going to be on the Canes.
Looks like Svoboda.
Bill McCreary, the call from behind the net.
Number 62, Carolina, 2 for Robert.
Thank you, Bill McCreary. It is Yaroslav Svoboda that has gone to the box. Chris Draper doing his best to hold him off, which he did. But then when Svoboda came up over the top, he tried to turn it back the other way and got up way too high on Draper. Way too high.
Second power play of the game for the Detroit Red Wings. The racing sensation, Helio Castroneves. He's the back-to-back winner of the Indy 500. First to do it 3 decades. Sunday, Pikes Peak Indy 225. 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, right here on ABC. Power play for the Detroit Red Wings, 13-34. Swoboda on the roughing call. Second power play of the game for Detroit. They have not been able to convert on their last 8 chances on the power play. And a vitally important kill here for the Canes. Centered back, Lidstrom dropped it in front, shot, Irbe wide.
Steve Yzerman going for his patented high to the short side. Step out and roof it.
Shanahan scores! Brendan Shanahan!
You knew he had to come alive. He started in game 4. Brendan Shanahan got off the schneid, and boy, did he rip this one home. He just blew this through Irbe. Fedorov with good containment down low out to Shanahan. Bingo. As soon as Glenn Wesley left him, he set up, and Sergei Fedorov dished a perfect pass. A 2-0 lead. The hole is deep now for the Carolina Hurricanes.
5:48 left to go, period number 2, and the Detroit Red Wings are on top by a score of 2-0. Datsuk had it deflected away. Came back to center. Dumped in. Lily couldn't be handled. Hasek, Jelena got it. Arten Jelena turning. Jelena tried to drop it off. Lily stepped up 2-on-1 the other way, maybe. No. It rolled ahead of Hull before he could get a pass off. Datsuk battling near side with Jelena. Datsuk dug it out to Hull. Hull Looking, left side, Devereaux. Had to come back to getting picked into the middle. Play by Malik up the near side boards. Back comes Martin Jelena. Washishek off the blocker into the corner. Jelena sliding into the wall. Kept it clear over Kapanen's head and out to center. 14:04. Shanahan, second of this series, seventh of the playoffs. Fedorov and Yzerman. Power play goal for Detroit. And a 2-0 lead. Brendan Shanahan, his playoff year, his first power play goal in the playoffs, and he's a power play specialist. Larionov, Igor Larionov with Cole on him, and the fans, obviously, as it gets ever closer, make a little more noise. Down in front of the net, Robitaille, knocked down twice, gets back up, heads to the front. Chelios' shot got blocked. Larionov came back to cover and knocked that away. Oh, he's so smooth. It all looks so easy.
And Larionov is always there backing up. That is why you feel so good playing with a guy like Larionov. The old Soviet system was the center was always the defensive player. One of the big reasons Larionov and Fedorov are so gifted defensively.
Natural instinct, move it back when the D needs help. Back in behind the net, Hurricane came back to play it. Blocked by Draper. Draper, McCarty, and Maltby, the grind line out. Looking up ice, trying to find a little room. Cole had it poke checked away. Lidstrom right there to poke check it away, control it, and some face rubbing. Cole gets into it on the far side, and a penalty coming. Cole and Maltby. Shot deflected down low. We still don't have a whistle here. Now we get one.
Somebody didn't hear Steve Walken's whistle. Carolina could have ended up in the box by themselves. Rod Brindamore pushed Maltby from behind. And that may be what is happening. We'll sort it out when we get a chance.
This offseason, we're taking Saturdays to a whole new level with Saturday Hockey Highlights.
Tremendous.
A whole day of themed programs.
Looks good.
To make your summer a little bit cooler.
Whoa! 102.5.
This Saturday, the outdoor games have become a season staple for over a decade.
They score!
Relive some of the best.
Clutch score!
Saturday Hockey Highlights. Outdoor games. Saturday noon Eastern on NHL Network.
The tour poster's here. They must have ordered 1 inch by 2 inches.
I hate it. I wish I had my angry eyebrows on.
I thought we told her to use U-printing.
The people at uprinting.com don't just help you print. They help you print like a pro. So whether you want to impress your fans or grow your business, choose Uprinting. When it has to be right the first time.
Here we are driving down the road, and all of a sudden, bang! Oh! Look at that. You know what we can do now? Go to SafeLight.com. They are the experts at replacing and recalibrating windshields. If you get a crack in your windshield, there's only one choice. Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Your balls will smell like winners with Mando. Can we say balls? Mando's different. It's tough enough to control body odor in all your toughest smelling places. How does Mando work? Rather than covering up odor with heavy fragrances, Mando stops odor before it starts. Our formula is powered by an acidified technology and pH optimized. It works by blocking bacteria from digesting fluids on your skin like sweat anywhere on your body. Order Mando whole body deodorant today and control your body odor better everywhere.
For the best deals, go to shopmando.com.
The NHL is taking hockey to a whole new level with NHL Blast on Roblox, featuring the coolest digital hockey hub. Grab your favorite NHL jersey, create your own custom goalie mask, then it's game on. Team up with friends as you hit the ice and streets in this fast-paced twist on hockey. Protect your goal, tag opponents, shoot, score, and of course, sell it. Explore hockey's new home on Roblox at nhl.com/blast.
The Red Wings, in fact, are on a power play. A shove from behind by Bates Battaglia could have been called. It ended up being a roughing minor to Eric Cole, number 26. But here are the Detroit Red Wings with an opportunity to put the ultimate stranglehold on the Carolina Hurricanes, who haven't scored 4 goals in what seems forever now. If the Red Wings score now on their power play, That is how many pucks Carolina will have to get by Dominik Hasek to win. 4.
16-18, the time of the penalty. Cole roughing. Third power play of the game. Shanahan a power play goal on their last chance. Faceoff will be inside the Carolina line with 3:45 to go here in the second period. 19-9. The shots in favor of the Detroit Red Wings. 4 shots this period for the Canes, 5 in the first. Power play Detroit. Lost it that time, and it's Westland who clears. Lidstrom came back to get it. Played it to himself.
You know what he did? He faked the pass and then faked it up the boards and just skated over it because he knew it was stopping.
Waited for Brind'Amour to go by. Poke checked away. Westland again able to clear it out. Carolina continues to be shut out here by Dominik Hasek and the Red Wings defense, while Detroit has picked up 2 goals here in the period. Shanahan put the hook on and a penalty coming. Shanahan's going to go.
You bet.
Holmstrom and Shanahan have the goals. Larionov, Chelios, Fedorov and Yzerman the assists. Detroit will lose 1:22 of power play time.
I don't know how Brendan Shanahan fumbled the pass. Puck was along the near boards, but as soon as he did, he was guilty of a hook. So it's a 4-on-4 for 1:22. Paul Maurice says this is not the Hurricanes game either. Kevin Adams came in after Brendan Shanahan had overskated the puck, and that's one of the difficulties. When the puck is near the boards, is picking it off the wall cleanly. So a hook to Brendan Shanahan. After the 4-on-4, Carolina will get a 38-second power play, barring any further penalties.
Face-off at center. There, Dominik Hasek was arguing about the clock here. He went out to Bill McCrory, I believe, talked to him. McCrory's over at the scorer's table, looking up at the clock. Dominik Hasek doesn't have enough to do. He's keeping track of the clock.
He doesn't miss anything, though. Does not miss anything.
He had the great line before the game. I think everybody has won the cup except me and Luke. He's wrong about that.
Yeah, he was only off by a few. Frederick Olofsson, Steve Duchesne, Boyd Devereaux, but
he's right.
We get the idea.
He and Luke don't have it either.
Right.
3:07 left to go in the period. 4-on-4. Detroit has scored 2 goals in 4-on-4 settings. Carolina's given up 2 and not scored any. Deeper into the zone goes Hedican. A lot of ice out there for the speedsters here. Duchesne over to Chelios. Red Hull is out there. Back in behind the net, Duchesne, Larionov, Hull, Duchesne, Chelios. Right through Sammy Kapanen. Ward giving chase. Ward, Malik, O'Neill, Kapanen. The 4 skaters for Carolina. 2-on-2 as Ward moves it in. Crisscrossing onside with Kapanen. Kapanen can't get that puck to sit. Shot, Hasek save, and covers the rebound. We'll check in with Brian England. Brian.
Luc Robitaille is a very emotional guy. He's been in the league a long time. He's scored 620 regular season goals. He's been to the finals 1 time, didn't win. You can tell that his emotions are starting to go right now. Let's show you his night up to this point. Early on, gets a great chance, hits the goal post. His hands are so good in traffic. That's what's got him those 620 regular season goals. Almost pulled another one off here. His emotions, now that it's 2-0, are starting to really get to the top end, and his son Jesse has a prize for him when he gets home, no matter what.
93 with Los Angeles in the finals that they didn't win. Pauline a chance, that one blocked. Still in a 4-on-4. Cleared back, Yzerman in the middle. Yzerman cutting pass to him. Yzerman came back to get it. Shot! That went right on the crossbar now. It hit Herbe up over him and came out the other side.
It seemed to be suspended forever, right in the goal mouth in the air.
Pauline trying to move it in. Centered in that one, deflected wide. Brind'Amour. We're still 4-on-4. Back it comes. Malik winds up, takes the chance. Save made. Good hard shot.
Deflected too. That went off Steve Yzerman, and that's why it almost handcuffed Hasek.
Picked up by Fedorov. Power play coming right now. 38 seconds worth of power play time for Carolina. Their second power play of the game, but a short one. They are down 2-0. Comes back to Cole. Cole moves it up. Going to rush it here with not a lot of time. He does. Down the middle. Went right by Hasek, but he never had the puck. Leaves it for O'Neill. Power play. Near side Wesley. Wesley trying to send it in. Hasek's got a defenseman's stick.
Yeah, he's got Maltby's stick. Yeah, now Maltby doesn't have one because Hasek is behind the net.
Hasek lost it behind the net. Got to shoot. They do. O'Neill. Hit one. It's good. No goal.
What a bad hit. Oh, they're going to review that.
That went in and came out.
Yeah. Sure did.
Dominik Hasek shaking his head. I think he knows that went behind him and it was hit so hard it came out of the net.
I think you could tell by the sound.
The light never came on. The officials never pointed, so it's up to the video replay.
And you can't blame the goal judge behind the net for not calling it. Like trying to capture lightning in a bottle. What a shot.
And hang on a minute, folks.
Yeah, you bet.
If that's in, it's 2-1.
Jeff O'Neill with a great shot. Through a crowd. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Could it have gone post to post? We know it hit the far post coming out. Deflection in front. Oh, yeah. Middle post and out. You bet.
That was way in.
Yeah, you bet.
This is what we talk about. The angles can be so deceptive. When we show you things on replay, always wait a minute. The officials generally are right because the angles on these shots make such a difference. That's that shot. You get one directly down from the top. You get one from the side. You get one from in the net. One shot looks like it went post to post. And the other one shows it was 3 feet in the net.
Shouldn't take long, should it?
No. But they want to be sure.
Well, yeah, but I mean, 4 angles with the puck going in the net are enough.
The Canes fans. You see the Canes fans now in Raleigh?
Oh, get ready, gang. You're getting ready to celebrate. I could tell by the sound, the original sound, it was kind of a thud. No ping.
O'Neill will get credit for it. It'll be his 8th goal of the playoffs and a power play goal. With 3 seconds left on the power play for the Canes and 1:10 to go in the period. The discussion with the folks upstairs continues. Supervisor of officials Andy Van Helleman is on hand here tonight. Dennis Parrish, Ron Greenberg are the video goal judges. They're looking at every angle available.
Boy, Carolina could have used the big adrenaline rush from a quick call here to come right back with 1:10 in the period and try to tie it. Peter Carmanos, if he's been watching our replays, has to have seen what we have seen. The scoreboard is going to change. It's a great shot by O'Neill and a super screen by Eric. I couldn't hardly even see that with the slow-mo replay going in and out.
Boy, that was fired, wasn't it?
Oh, great shot by Jeff O'Neill. But the screen was so perfect, Dominik Hasek could only set up and hope that it hit him. Well, we got a party line going here.
The old party line.
Yeah.
Not a lot of these party lines left in the United States. One's ordering pizza, the other one's checking the goal.
Eric Cole wasn't in the crease, did not appear to interfere with Dominik Hasek, but that's not a reviewable call from upstairs anyway.
No.
A player interfering with the goalie.
It's a goal. So it is a 2-1 game. It is a power play goal for the Canes. And took a while to get it right, but it's right.
Yep. And you know what, Gary? Eric Cole, I don't even know if he's going to get a point on this, but with his screen, he was also the guy responsible for Dominik Hasek losing his stick. He came in so fast on the forecheck, and Hasek tried to poke it away. Cole dragged Hasek's stick out of his hands, and he never really was able to get it back. He had Kirk Maltby's stick in his hands.
So there goes the shutout streak, and it was a long one for Dominik Hasek. A 2-1 game. That gets the Carolina Hurricanes out of an 0-for-20 that they had going on the power play, and only the second goal given up in 40 power play chances by Detroit against them. And it is 2-1, and the house will settle back down again. Lord Stanley's Cup will lean back in its case. Moved back up by Olesen. Sent in. Albie couldn't handle it. Back to center. Washishek hit by Draper. That freed the puck up for the Wings. Under a minute left to go here in the period, and it is a 2-1 game. O'Neill with that rocket shot to put Carolina on the board. Draper's chance. That got blocked back in behind the net. McCartney the hit. Cleared around by Hill, not out. Blitz from a chance. That one way wide short side. Then Wesley trying to turn with it. Wesley, he gets pinned up against the boards with a puck underneath. Martin Jelena knocked down by Shanahan as he came in from behind. And that off the stick of Yzerman and out to center. Closing in on 10 seconds. O'Neal gets it. It came late in that period. 18:30. Wesley. 18:50 rather. Wesley picks up the lone assist on the power play goal for the Canes. So we go to the third period with Detroit needing to win only one more period to win the cup. But Hasek's shutout streak has ended. Our Dodge intermission report coming up here. LJD Barry and John along. JD will break down the second period and Barry on Luc Robitaille. 166 minutes 3 seconds of shutout hockey ended on the power play goal by O'Neal. Detroit got the early lead on the Holmstrom goal. They added to it with Brendan Shanahan getting one. And then O'Neal. And when they looked at it upstairs there at Ward's. More after a word from our ABC stations.
NetCredit is here to say yes to a personal loan or line of credit, even when other lenders won't. Apply online in minutes and get funds deposited the next business day or sooner. Go to netcredit.com. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
Send those pics in. What we running with today? You already know.
Joe, Trav is about to go off tonight.
Facts. That's the play.
Run it, and I'll see y'all tonight.
Might have to run that.
I told y'all to run that. Come on now. You said it. Come on. You said it.
Download the PrizePicks app today. Enter $5 and get $50 instantly. PrizePicks, run your game.
This is the story of the one who believes being prepared is not just a way of life, it's how he helps everyone stay safe. He sweats the small stuff before it becomes big stuff. For the one, being an unsung hero in a building full of everyday heroes is just how he likes it. The industrial-grade products you need delivered fast. Call, click Grainger.com or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We went with the website nuts.com because nuts and dried fruit and pretzels and trail mix and gummies and chocolate and espresso beans and malted milk balls and crackers and popcorn and sesame sticks and veggie chips and energy squares and fudge and jelly beans and seeds and rock candy and saltwater taffy and dried berries and fruit leather and bars and jerky and a whole lot more .com was already taken. Get 20% off and free shipping on your first order at nuts.com. Yes, we have more than nuts, but still the website is just nuts.com.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for hockey. And NHL Network is serving up your favorite shows all summer.
Can I get a brochure, please?
My favorite player.
Can I get a Puxicle, please?
Enjoy.
Wow, back and forth they go. It's been a great series.
Beat the heat with a little hockey all summer on NHL Network.
Hockeytown Cafe is the site here in Detroit. They're ready to celebrate. The fans here at the Joe are. But Detroit's got to win one more period. And the Canes will have something to say about that.
And something to build on. I mean, that was a huge goal for them at the end of the second. They're right back in it. Big question, as it has always been, is can they get to 2 and then 3?
That has been the problem in this series and throughout the playoffs for them. Played back behind the net to Ward, underway, third period. 20-12 the shots in favor of Detroit. The Red Wings leading it 2-1. Lord Stanley's Cup is in the building and waiting. Red Wings win. There will be a skating of the cup here at the Joe tonight. Sent in by Draper. Herbe bounced it up in the air. The Canes getting that offense from O'Neal. The goal at 18:50. Wesley picked up the only assist after Holmstrom and Shanahan had given Detroit a 2-0 lead. All three of those goals coming in period number 2. Chelios cleared it around. Yzerman's got it. Yzerman, Fedorov, and Shanahan. Shanahan on the near side. Dumped it along the boards. Wesley came back. Fedorov with a little hook to free it up. Bounces to the far side. Brendamore over to get it. Brendamore clears that one out. 3-on-3. Detroit back on D. Cole pinned up. Knocked down by Yuri Slug. Brought back near side. Shanahan had to come back to help. Put it around. Nobody over. still doing battle on the near side. And again took his man down, Cole.
Well, Slager has seen what Cole can do to defensemen that try to just not respect his speed or back up. He'll go around. As a matter of fact, Slager facing on that side. O'Neill, Kapanen, and Cole all with speed. And I think he's playing it the smart way. When he gets a chance, he's making his move and taking the body right away.
Cole leads all Carolina players in hits coming into this game in the playoffs this year. Red Wings with a puck, though, on the near side. Devereaux. Another takedown by Kapanen. Forced Duchesne to send it across ice. Datsuk with it. Datsuk dropped it off. Near side, Devereaux is in the middle as Duchesne brings it up. Chance Irbe save. Rebound. Put away into the corner. Pauline getting back to help out. Sammy Kapanen shoots it through the middle. Nobody there to get it. They'll wave off any icing. Sammy Kapanen had 3 shots, leading Carolina through 2 periods. Brendan Shanahan picked up 3, leading the Red Wings in shots through 2. Hedican back. Headed around the dasher. Into the middle. Backed up by Luke Robitaille into the corner. Holmstrom still there. Holmstrom fighting. Hedican went by. Held on to. Olsen got it behind the net. Hedican and Holmstrom still going at it. Holmstrom down on the ice. Back up and all right. Tipped away at center. Robitaille let it go to Lidstrom. Lidstrom dropped it off. Igor Larionov leaves it. Got Robitaille coming up on the far side. And a shot. He went wide side and missed. Neal tried to clear it out. Did. Igor Larionov took it away twice. Lidstrom with O'Neill up. Svoboda on the far side. Larionov's got room. Larionov in. Robitaille a little screen for him. Robitaille tried to blast it. Didn't get anything on it. Thought he may have broke the stick. Headed immediately to the bench.
He did. Stick is in 2.
Slide back deep into the zone. Red Wings back in behind it. Devereaux came back to get it. Chipped ahead at center. Hill was there to knock it away. McCarty deflected it. Back in behind the net. Battaglia trying to move it up for Brendamore. Chelios stepped up to hold it in. Hill takes it back. Precious time clicking away for both of these teams here in this 3rd period. Arturs Irbe, goaltender, has been magnificent this playoff year. Arturs Irbe has been here before. 8 years ago, he backstopped the upstart San Jose Sharks to a stunning upset win over the Red Wings. This time, the goalie from Latvia will be trying to do it for Carolina. Though he struggled early in the playoffs, Irbe has rebounded, and he will have the chance to bring his story full circle. A Stanley Cup is on the line. Arturs Irbe, 3-3 in his career in playoff elimination games. First one he has faced this year.
2 questions. Can he hold? Number 2, can his guys get him at least 1 more?
Difference in this series in the playoff year for Carolina has been 2-1 wins. When the opponents get 3, the Canes in trouble. Third back in behind the net. Tonight they have got to get 3 to send this series back to Raleigh. Near side for Duchesne. Duchesne just dumped it out through center. Pressure put on by Draper, circling around the net on Wesley. Again, through the middle they come. Little room, Jelena. We got Jelena, Kapanen. A lot of speed now on this line.
Yep, and that is one of the things they wanted to do was get in on the forecheck. So with Kapanen on one side of Wassercheck and Jelena on the other side. And I'd like to see them together for 50 or 60 games. It's tough to throw them together and ask them to produce against the Red Wings, but all the making, especially with Wassercheck's development, of being a heck of a line.
They can really fly out there on those wings. Dump back in behind the net. Shanahan with it. Shanahan, backhand side, leaves it out at the point. Backhand shot into the middle, deflected by Yzerman. Yzerman taking the hits from behind. By Malik. Backed it up, Shanahan to the point, rolled by to center. Lidstrom is back to cover. 5 minutes into the 3rd period. Fedorov with it. Chance for the Detroit Red Wings to wrap up a Stanley Cup win in this game at home. Carolina right off the stick of Dominik Hasek. In behind the net, Svoboda cutting to the front. Svoboda had to come back to help out. Tried to center O'Neill, got dumped over there, and it's cleared, and a penalty coming. It's going to be on Detroit. Delayed call. This is a delayed call, but it's Carolina that's got the man down on the ice, so the whistle will blow. Detroit will be called.
I think it's Fedorov that's going for the hit on Svoboda from behind. Here is Svoboda coming around. Watch Fedorov with 2 hands on the stick and the cross-check into the boards. And it was the high guy, Steve Lockett, that called it. He was out at center. One man gone. That is Fedorov. Swoboda's still down, though.
He did not move for a while, but now is up on his hands and knees on the ice.
Penalty, Detroit, 91, cross-check.
Carolina will get an opportunity on the power play to tie this game up.
Remember, they scored their first goal on a 38-second power play. Fedorov got the puck and then went for Swoboda. If he doesn't go for the man too, he probably doesn't get anything here.
14:37 left to go here in the third period. Down to what is real crunch time. Rod Brind'Amour.
You realize now that you've come this far to fall off the mountain, so to speak, and not finish it is just almost worse than getting there in the first place.
If Game 6 is necessary, that's if the Canes win. Saturday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC. We will be there if needed. And now a little tentative on that Detroit bench. The 2-0 lead has gone 2-1. And a power play for Carolina. There's Swoboda. The helmet off, but back on the bench under his own power.
He's got a big back pad. I was looking at his shoulder pads earlier in the series, and he's got a back pad that hangs all the way down. I think that would win.
Third power play opportunity of the game. Each team, power play chances. Detroit has been able to convert. Now Carolina looking to do that.
What a play by Chris Chelios. I mean, he's like a surgeon when he reaches in with his stick or a pile of skates and sticks, and somehow he just stick handles the puck out of what seems like a vice.
O'Neill has the power play goal for the Canes. Chelios batted it away. Short-handed opportunity. Draper up ice and it's shot. Deflected to the near side. Flying up ice. Back comes Cole. And right back there is Draper, who just had the chance, covering the other end. Hill in the middle. Trying to hold it in Dodds. Trying to shovel and pass. Broken out Maltby.
Maltby lost his glove. Went by the bench. Somebody handed him a glove, and he actually knocked the puck down the ice wearing gloves that didn't match.
53 seconds left on the Carolina power play. Brind'Amour dropped it back. Hill able to hold it in. Hill backed it up into the corner, but Carolina can't get it set up here. Nobody on the far side. Larionov trying to move it up, but Tanglia knocked it away. Hull on the interception. Here's Hull coming up short-handed. Hull turns it, waiting. Lidstrom trying to move it in. Can't. Taken back behind by Kapanen. Down to just 28 seconds left to go on it for the Canes. Hill, he collides with Wesley. And that's going to be whistled on an offside.
24 seconds. And still really no setup and no threat. Paul Maurice has decided not to juggle his lines. I mean, he reset his lines before this game, moving Kapanen and flip-flopping he and Swoboda. But since the game started, what an interesting confrontation, because both Scotty Bowman and Paul Maurice, the respective head coaches, have allowed the other guy to get the matchups they want, have not juggled their lines, and have simply gone head-to-head to see who can win this thing.
Power play's only got 24 seconds left on it, and the faceoff is coming outside the zone. And Chris Chelios, as only he can do it, always has an extra piece of tape on the end of his stick when his specialty team needs a rest. It invariably comes loose. It is one of the world's wonders, the eighth wonder of the world.
It's like the hangnail that is always there when you need it.
There's nobody who does that better. He'll walk right up to the official. He'll show him the end of the stick with the tape hanging off it and say, let me work on this just for a second while I breathe it.
You ever looked at Chris Chelios' stick at the end of the game? It looks like it went through a food processor. He's got all kinds of tape to pull off it.
Held back in by Brind'Amour, and the power play is over. No shots on the power play chance. 5-on-5. Brind'Amour, so Detroit again able to kill an important power play off. Wesley leaves it on the far side. 5-on-5 hockey. Kapanen a shot blocked. All the way to the line, not out of the zone. Chipped back towards the middle. Shanahan without a helmet out there. That's Chelios who got it out of there. Shanahan realizing what it was like in the old days as the stick went flying by his head when he didn't have a helmet on. He's going to go find the helmet. Red Wings 2, Carolina 1.
When your business needs fast, quality printing delivered on time. When a project needs to be double-checked, even checked 33 times. When every detail, the size, the material, and even the color density has to be perfect. And when you need your fans to know when and where to catch your face-melting guitar riffs, choose Uprinting. When it has to be right the first time. Start today.
Da Vinci gave me twice the pits and private parts, which makes me smell twice as bad.
A PU?
That's why I use Mando whole body deodorant. The manly deodorant for all the manly crevasses of my manly body.
Mando, he smells good.
Mando doesn't just block odor all day. It controls odor for 72 hours. With cologne quality scents. Roma wasn't built in a day, but with Mando, you can smell good for 3 of them. So if you want to smell better naked, then go to shopmando.com today.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
This mango hint water tastes just like mango.
How can water taste just like fruit?
For a limited time, new customers get over 45% off at drinkhint.com. That's 36 bottles for just $36. Only $1 per bottle. Hint.
There's an easier way. From repairs and cleaning to remodeling and more, Thumbtack makes it easy to care for your home. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
I'm certain it's level 5.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters. 4imprint is your home for promo gear to wow clients and inspire your team. Check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
This is the story of how a feel-good family film,
my whole life and my whole focus was that one script,
turned into an NHL franchise.
We clearly did not think about a physical hockey team in Anaheim.
And the remarkable playoff run.
I love that kind of stories.
That landed this unique team on hockey's biggest stage.
That was all good. You know, you got to have fun with some things.
This is NHL Backstory. Available on NHL.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Have the 2-1 lead, 5:24. Will this be the year Steve Yzerman wins his second Conn Smythe MVP?
Could it be Nick Lidstrom? I think you and I agree, Gary, they would be the front runners. But hockey to be played, a new line for Carolina too. Francis, Cole, and O'Neill.
Trying to get the offense bunched. Hit by Cole on Yzerman. Dug out by Sergei Fedorov. Francis came over, Shanahan cleared it out.
You see what Steve Yzerman did? He let Cole play him because he knew Fedorov was going to ride in to support him. That's exactly what happened.
5:04 left to go. Carolina moving their D in offensively. Trying to just get a pile-up in front of Dominik Hasek to get a chance. Came back to the point, deflected on him. O'Neill goes to the corner. Hasek able to knock it away. Hennigan's chance didn't get much of that for his shot. Came back through center. It's going to be played by Irbe. Irbe does. Gets it up and over the glass.
Oh, it hit, didn't it?
It deflected off the glass. It will not be a delay of game penalty.
But it was close.
Good call by the linesman who immediately came down and signaled off the glass.
That was Brad Lazarowicz. The cheer is not for a penalty. The cheer is for the octopus that just showed up.
And at the far end of the ice from the gate where the shovel is, talking about what could have been a delay of game call there. And you can also bet, Svoboda's talking to the official about if this stuff is thrown on the ice now, you got to call a delay of game against Detroit. Well, McCurry wants no part of that, but at the same time, he wants that ice cleared.
Yeah, it's never been called yet. It shouldn't be called now. It should not. Dominik Hasek moments ago. Nicholas Wallin with a good decision just to put it on goal, deflected by Eric Cole, and also touched by Jeff O'Neill. Full extension for Hasek. Watch him spread to his right. He had nothing left in the shirt sleeve on that stretch.
$1 million. And the first Stanley Cup is at stake for Dominik Hasek. He has a $1 million bonus clause if the Red Wings win the Cup. I get his agent's number. Face off in the high slot. Back to Slager. Shot save made. Straight in from the blue line. Back to center. Slager had a piece of that. Bounces in the air onside. Carolina can't control though. Cleared back up and out by Darren McCarty. Hill will play it. 4:28 left to go. A 2-1 Detroit lead. Carolina moving it back down the boards. Maltby trying to touch that one up. Could not. Jelena. Chelios in battle. Now Hill heads to the net. They got one defenseman back. Svoboda's shot hit Maltby. Center he passed far side. Wachniak was over there but couldn't get a stick on it, and it's cleared out. Hill, the defenseman, was literally at the top of the crease.
You almost have to look for somebody to peel out of that pack in front and step wide for a chance.
Skating it back into the zone. Battaglia trying to go around Lidstrom. Could not. Off the boards. Fine play by Frederick Olofsson, who came in to get the puck. Here's the break. Larionov. He's got Holmstrom with him on the right. Larionov in. Larionov. Holmstrom. Got it off the heel with a stick and it went wide. Picked back up. Kapanen lost it. Got it back. Cleared up ice. Malik was able to get a stick on that in the zone. Forced back deep by Igor Larionov. Through center. 3:30 left to go. The Red Wings need to win 3 minutes 30 seconds of hockey, and they will win their 10th cup. Back to get it is Malik. But Carolina now truly all or nothing. Back into Fedorov. Fedorov. Hedican. Fedorov. Save! Shot that came up high. And again, Herbe with a save.
And Fedorov with his patented power move.
He got the angle. Brandamore turns in the corner. Back in behind the net is Hedican. Hedican long. O'Neill. O'Neill will move it in. O'Neill heads to the net. Cole with it. Cole. Chelios takes him down. Puck still there. Yzerman turning with it. Trying to find a lane. Did off the far side. Fedorov can't get it out. Held in by Bolin. 2:49 left. Third period. In the corner. Cole along the dot. Lost it and it comes to center. Detroit Red Wings have won 9 cups. 5 of them have been won in Detroit. The last one in '97. Fans chanting, "We want the cup."
Scotty Bowman coming right back with his grind line, double shifting them here in the dying moments.
McCarty shot it wide. Maltby sends it into the corner. Back to get it is Bolin. Bolin looking to turn. You're Luc Robitaille. You've never won a Stanley Cup. You're Steve Duchesne. You've never been to the finals. You're Dominik Hasek. You made one move to get here for one reason. You got 2:13 on the clock left. Can you hold your heart down?
There is Luc Robitaille. You will see tears from Luc Robitaille if, in fact, he gets to touch the Stanley Cup. Remember, he has never touched the Stanley Cup. Rarely has he been in the same room as the Stanley Cup just because he holds it in such high reverence. Sergei Fedorov could have made this a 3-1 hockey game. Brett Hedican's skating ability is the only thing that pushed him to the side. Fedorov's patented move, put the stick or the puck by the skates of the defender, put your stick over his, and try to get some wood on it.
Sent back into the zone. With 2:07 left to go, you're Paul Maurice. Do you pull your goaltender at some point here? Down 2-1, and the question's when. Along the blue line, it's lost in the middle. Brandamore turned for it, can't control it in the zone.
Now they have to think about getting Herbe out, Gary. We're down to $150.
Almost intercepted. Kapanen came back to play it. Scotty Bowman has won the last 8 cup-clinching games he has coached, going for his 9th Stanley Cup ring as a coach. Out of the zone. Would have been icing. Had to be clean.
Herbe came out and played that, but yeah, Robitaille would have gotten there first. He had to.
Robitaille comes back with it. Robitaille taken out of the play as he got bumped. Down to 1:25 left to go. If the Canes can get it up ice, Herbe will head to the bench. Here is Hill. Hill looking. Fans roaring here at the Joe. Trying to find a place in the middle to get the puck. Cole had it swept away. Herbe still in net. Robitaille knocked it away to hold it in. Centered for Robitaille, who got tied up by Cole. Robitaille dropped it off. Francis hit his stick. 1 minute left to go. The Red Wings lead it by a score 2-1. O'Neill, Herbe to the bench. Cole a chance. Blocked into the corner. Dominik Hasek. Empty net at the other end. The Detroit Red Wings. Shanahan sees it. Shanahan to ice it. Scores! Brendan Shanahan!
Carolina Hurricanes are complaining about something. Scotty Bowman is complaining about something. I'm not sure any of the complaining is going to be worth anything for either team.
Brendan Shanahan, a 2-goal game. And the Detroit Red Wings have a 3-1 lead. Dominik Hasek out of the net. Turning back because he can't come over that red line
without incurring a penalty.
And he does. Almost. It won't matter.
What a party erupted on the Red Wings bench. There were two clusters, one at each end of the bench, and it was just two masses of humanity jumping up and down together.
Steve Yzerman all over Brendan Shanahan. Shanahan has scored 3 goals in the last 2 games. Yzerman got a bloody nose for celebrating.
Yeah. But ultimately it was the line of Shanahan, Fedorov, and Yzerman that Carolina had to contain.
Irbe is back in net, and the Detroit Red Wings, the countdown is now at 31 seconds. The goal scored on the empty net. Shanahan from Yzerman at 19:15. Irbe goes back to the bench. Empty net again. Carolina getting onside. Countdown at 16 seconds. The Detroit Red Wings, their 3rd cup in 6 years, the 10th that they have won in their history. Scotty Bowman will get his 9th as a coach. Dominik Hasek, Robitaille will win their first. The Detroit Red Wings have won the 2002 Stanley Cup.
Valiant effort and playoff run by the Carolina Hurricanes. But the Detroit Red Wings have proven too much for any foe, and they deserve the Stanley Cup.
A team that finished #1 in the regular season, acquired Luc Robitaille, his wife, family, celebrating. We will have the cup presentation, of course. Anders Irbe I don't think could have played any better than he played in this series.
And the old goat that the Dallas Stars did not want, they did not renew Brett Hull, has his 2nd Stanley Cup, and this man, Dominik Hasek, has his resume finally completed with a Stanley Cup.
Will Dominik Hasek come back and play again? Will Scotty Bowman come back and coach again? He has gone and put the skates on to come out and celebrate. He's refused to answer the question about returning or not. That is Brett Hull with him.
Boy, have they developed a close relationship. In the 1 year here, Brett Hull very close to Scotty Bowman. Rod Brind'Amour, just an incredible effort throughout the playoffs.
The Conn Smythe Trophy will be awarded to the MVP. Got to believe whoever wins it, and there are only 15 votes, it's going to be very, very close.
Closest ever. Dominik Hasek will get votes. Sergei Fedorov will. Brett Hull will. Steve Yzerman. Nick Lidstrom.
They are the 5 favorites.
Yes.
Peter Forsberg will win the scoring title and become one of the footnotes in Stanley Cup history of a player who didn't get to the finals, who ended up scoring the most points in a playoff season. Scotty Bowman's got the championship hat.
Take a look at the smile on this face. Scotty doesn't walk around many days with a grin on his face, but you won't be able to wipe this one off his face for at least a number of days. And that is the GM, Ken Holland, the architect of this team, who built the championship team to bring the cup back to Detroit.
9 consecutive clinch wins for Scotty Bowman. Lost the first one and has won the last 9. Now the great tradition in the National Hockey League of the two teams going through the handshake line. Luc Robitaille.
Crying already, Gary.
Absolutely.
Crying already.
Brendan Shanahan, who had only 1 goal in the previous 10, ends up with 3 in the last 2.
The man leading the handshake line for Detroit is Igor Larionov, a guy Scotty Bowman was worried about because he played in the Olympics. He wondered if the 41-year-old would have enough gas. Question answered with an exclamation point at the end.
The oldest to score a goal in the finals, Igor Larionov. And for Captain Ron Francis, the Cinderella story of the Canes ends here in Detroit in Game 5. But what an effort, and there were very few who ever predicted they would be the ones on the ice as winners or losers. Steve Yzerman, the captain of the Wings, has won the Conn Smythe before in '98 when he also led the scores in playoff scoring that year. Scotty Bowman will be the end of that line.
It's a hug for his old player, Aaron Ward, former Red Wing.
And the youngest coach in finals history, hired when he was 28 years old. 35 now, Paul Maurice. Holmstrom had a goal here in this one for Detroit.
Holmstrom would have to qualify as the unsung hero, I do believe.
Yep. Once the handshakes are done, the Conn Smythe Trophy will be awarded to the MVP, and then the Stanley Cup will be brought to the ice. Darren.
Thanks, Gary. Steve, we saw you in Game 1 against Vancouver. Could never imagine we would have got through 4 rounds with that knee that you're on. You said before, if you don't win, it means nothing. What's it mean now, buddy?
I got to tell you, I think this is the best one of the 3 that we've won. You know, our team I thought we played so well. Everybody played so well, and we got stronger with each round and got better. And you know, I thought winning once was great, but I don't know why this one is the best. This one is so good.
You talk about Dominik Hasek and Luc Robitaille, Duchesne, guys that have never won before. Did you say anything before the game and keep it all calm or keep it in perspective before?
Well, all through the playoffs, we kind of tried to stay calm and really exert all our energy on the ice and not get too uptight in the locker room. We don't play well when we're all uptight, so we know what we're playing for. You know, we didn't have to really psych ourselves up. It was just a matter of let's just take it easy out here and things will come for us, not force it, not get uptight. With each game, I thought we got better. In each period, in each game, we got stronger.
Steve, there's some talk that Scotty Bowman is going to retire. Does that cup get handed to him?
At some point, for sure. You know, I don't know what he's going to do, but I tell you, 9 years here, and he built this team, and he taught us how to win, and the guys what's important. And you know, I've learned so much from him. He's a tremendous coach, and whether he comes back or retires, you know, what a great finish if he does go out. But it's just an awesome run for him.
You're not retiring, huh, big boy?
Can't afford to, Darren. Can't afford to.
Congratulations. Great job.
Thank you.
Steve Yzerman, will he win the MVP? His family on hand, daughter Isabella. They are, we'll wait and see if he wins the MVP. And Vladimir Konstantinov, injured in that automobile accident after they won the Stanley Cup, and has been an inspiration for this team. He was with them in '97, and then the accident after they won the Cup. He is on the bench before every game.
They've obviously never forgotten him. They
keep his locker.
Yeah, they've actually turned his locker kind of into a shrine. They just never forget. And when you win a championship, you never do. Mike Ilitch has a right to be extremely proud. He spent money. He spent lots of money. He spent it the right way with proud athletes.
The Conn Smythe Award to the MVP, donated in '64. Jean Beliveau was the first to win it in '65. Who's going to win it this year? we're going to get an announcement.
Here it is.
The way he plays is so spectacular to watch.
Did your favorite make the cut? Find out when we reveal our list.
You can't find players like this.
Of the top 20 defensemen right now. Next on NHL Network.
NetCredit is here to say yes to a personal loan or line of credit, even when other lenders won't. Apply online in minutes and get funds deposited the next business day or sooner. Go to netcredit.com. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
Here we are driving down the road, and all of a sudden, bang! There's a crack in our windshield. You know what we can do now, though, right?
Go to SafeLight.com.
And we're good to go.
Hey guys, I'll be replacing the windshield for you.
Can we go in there with you?
New cars come with cameras that could control your automatic braking systems and lane departures, which do need to get recalibrated when you get your windshield replaced.
If you get a crack in your windshield, there's only one choice.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
What are you doing?
Yo, Sean, put him on game.
He's locked in on Prize Picks. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players and lock in for the game. Enter a lineup for as little as $5 and get $50 instantly.
Plus, you can play in almost every state.
Download the Prize Picks app today. Enter $5 and get $50 instantly with Code TV. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Oh, you already know, bro.
Dad, are you certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love. Printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
You were hired to be a maintenance manager, but everyone really knows you as a repair expert, a procurement specialist, and a problem solver. No matter what your call, you know who to call to help keep your operation running. Grainger has over 1 million products, including the one you need now, plus the scale to deliver next day on most orders, so you can focus on delivering for the ones who count on you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Nothing sweeter than the taste of victory.
It's been a great series.
Relive each Stanley Cup playoff series on Series in a Day, Mondays and Thursdays on NHL Network.
We welcome National Hockey League Commissioner Gary Bettman to present the Conn Smythe Trophy to the 2002 Stanley Cup Playoffs Most Valuable Player.
I come bearing gifts. The first one is the Conn Smythe Trophy, and it is awarded to Nicholas Lidstrom.
Well, there's an honor for you. He becomes just the 8th defenseman ever to win it. Joining Bobby Orr, Brian Leetch, Al McGinnis, Larry Robinson, Serge Savard, and Scott Stevens.
And Gary becomes the first non-North American to win it. The first European. Brian Leetch is the only non-Canadian who had ever won it. Now add a European to the list. Brian Leetch is American. And you know what? Steve Yzerman could not be happier if he had won it himself. Nick Lidstrom, one of the most popular players in the locker room. You have to know why. He is just made of the right stuff off the ice and is the greatest defenseman in the sport today.
There was a groundswell of support for him as the series moved on. He is one of the many who's won his 3rd Stanley Cup here on this team. Chris Draper, Tomas Holmstrom, Larionov, Lidstrom, Maltby, McCarty, Brendan Shanahan, Steve Yzerman. 3rd Stanley Cup for them.
But a great choice. Nick Lidstrom was a super choice. You saw Dominik Hasek come up and congratulate him. Dominik Hasek setting a record for shutouts in the playoffs. Dominik Hasek was a candidate. That is Barry Smith, assistant coach, congratulating Lidstrom. He was so good in so many big situations, so many times, both offensively and defensively.
Congratulations to Nick Lidstrom, the winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy. Maple Leaf Gardens is depicted on that trophy. Lidstrom's not going to let go of it either. He carries it over to the bench. Igor Larionov celebrating there with Dominik Hasek, congratulating Hasek.
Boys.
Who came here to win it and did. Robitaille, first time for him as well.
Go see your dad.
Brendan Shanahan with a 2-goal game. And now the presentation of the cup will be made at center ice with Gary Bettman, Commissioner of the National Hockey League, on hand here. The cup is in the house. Presented in 1893. Takes 13 years to fill all of those rings on the cup. Only one ring has been retired.
Three Stanley Cup championships in 6 years and great fans. That's why Detroit is Hockey Town. Let's first congratulate the Carolina Hurricanes on a great season and for their great fans in the Carolinas. Tonight is because Mike and Marian Ilitch have a passion for the game, a passion for Detroit, and a passion for the Red Wings. Congratulations to them. Jim Devellano and Ken Holland put it all together. Scotty Bowman is the coach by which all other coaches are measured. And when you look at these great players, the first reaction is, let's give them the keys to the Hall of Fame. But not tonight. Tonight they are in the Stanley Cup. Steve Yzerman, come get it.
Steve Yzerman, the question has been, who will he hand it off to first?
Gosh. Dominik Hasek, a worthy candidate. Luc Robitaille, a worthy candidate. Steve Daughter, a worthy candidate. Scotty Bowman, also.
He's looking. Steve Yzerman. Scotty Bowman is going to get the cup first.
Yeah.
The honor given by the captain to his coach.
The $64,000 question, as it has been for each of the last 4 or 5 years, will Scotty Bowman return? Only Scotty knows that right now. I think he will be back.
I do too. Dominik Hasek, first time.
He's trying to out-bench press any goalie that's ever held it.
Will he return?
I don't think he will.
I don't either.
Unless the players talk him into it.
Luc Robitaille, first time.
Now he can say he has touched the Stanley Cup because this is the first time in his life. He's had opportunities to walk up to it many times. The first time he has ever touched it is White Station.
His first time, Steve Duchesne.
Had never been past the second round of the playoffs. Lost 16th in the long overtime game. Came out and picked up an assist on the overtime winner.
Frederick Olofsson, all the first-timers.
Frederick Olofsson had never been past the second round of the playoffs.
This isn't scripted, but in their minds, Chelios has never raised it over his head and skated it before. He gets that done tonight. It's his second cup.
16 years in the making.
Montreal 86, the other time he won it. Yuri Slager, who wasn't supposed to be on the ice.
How about this? Because of the Yuri Fisher suspension, Yuri Slager will in fact get his name in the Stanley Cup. Had he not played this game, he would not have qualified.
You have to play one finals game. There is Yuri Fisher suspended, but allowed to go out on the ice, and he will skate the cup.
And he also will get his name in the cup because he played plenty of games to qualify it, not only in the finals, but earlier in the playoffs. Boyd Devereaux is a player who 2 years ago was out of work after a serious concussion. The Edmonton Oilers did not make a qualifying offer. The Red Wings stepped up and said, "We'll take a shot with you, kid."
Dan Deneau, the ice time that he has given this team this year, that too was one of the surprises because as it went along, he got better and better.
And never played in the Stanley Cup Finals in either 97 or 98.
Sat and watched. Datsyuk, a rookie. I think he may do this again.
Good point.
One of the niftiest young players in the NHL. And how about being a backup goaltender, Manny Legacy? Those who sit and watch also benefit. Let's get out of Brian England, right?
Thanks, Gary. Luc Robitaille, you said you never even wanted to touch the Stanley Cup before until you won it. You just touched it. What did it feel like?
There's no feeling like it. I mean, you work all your life, you know, playing a game you love, and to win it, I don't even know what to say.
There were a lot of sacrifices by you, by Steven, by Jesse, by Stacia, weren't there, being away from your family?
Yeah, but it was worth it. It was all worth it. I mean, we'll never regret this moment. We'll live it as a family.
All the future Hall of Famers on this team, you're going to be one of them. Tell us what it was like to play all year and now win the Cup.
It's just amazing, you know. We came in last July. Our goal was to finish and win the last game. We did. I mean, it's amazing when you accomplish what you set your mind to. It's a great feeling.
Congratulations, Luke. Go get your picture with the Cup.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks.
Back up to Gary Thorne.
This is the oldest team ever to win the Stanley Cup in terms of average age. And this is not a dynasty, not with this group.
No.
This group was put together to win now.
It was put together with a 2-year window, this year and next year. You know what? What strikes me watching each of the Red Wings skate the Cup is that everyone, from Chris Draper now to Darren McCarty, has had such a big part at some point in the playoffs of pushing this process forward towards the Stanley Cup championship. Every player.
McCarty had a hat trick, which he pointed to the apocalypse.
Herb Maltby scored for the grind line. Fantastic penalty kill.
And Scotty Bowman has announced he is not coming back.
He has already.
He has announced at the end of the game he's not coming back. Igor Larionov, the professor. Maybe a number of these guys who may not be coming back. Check in with Darren Pang. Darren?
Gary, I'm with Dominik Hasek. It's been some time. 4 years ago, you were going to retire. You get injured, and here you are winning the Stanley Cup. Your thoughts?
No better feeling, you know, than to win the Cup. You know, it took a long time, and I'm so happy, you know, I came to this city, you know, and have a chance, you know, to play for this team, and now the dream came true.
A gold medal and a Stanley Cup. Is there a difference here?
I don't know, but, you know, the Stanley Cup, it's a long journey. It's a long way to make it, you know. It's like 2 months of hard work, and you know, it's not a better feeling than to raise this silver Stanley Cup.
Dominik, I'm sure you're going to come back.
Give me a couple of days, give me 3-4 days, you know, and I'll let you know. I have to sit down with my wife and make.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks very much, Darren. I'm with Chris Chelios. Chris, you've won this before back in '86 with Montreal, but you never got to skate with the Cup, did you? Why?
No, I don't know. I just didn't know what to expect, and I figured Bob Gainey, Larry Robinson, those guys, let them have it. So said, 17 years later, I think the best thing is having my family there this time for it.
Yeah, 16 years in between wins for an individual. That's a record. Did you know that?
Well, it might be the only record I have, but it's well worth it, that's for sure. It's unbelievable. What a great group of guys I had all year.